Welcome to this educational deep dive into MS-13, one of the world's most notorious gangs. This video condemns all gang activity and violence. Our goal is understanding social factors to support prevention. We're exploring the role of female members based on public FBI, DOJ, and researcher reports, including tragic victim events that underscore the urgency of change. Let's break it down. MS-13, or Mara Salvatrucha, began in Los Angeles in the 1980s among Salvadoran immigrants escaping civil war. It grew through deportations, now active in over 40 U.S. states and abroad. The gang has a strict hierarchy with leaders overseeing local groups. Women make up about 10 to 20% of members, FBI estimates, and play key supporting roles, often from challenging backgrounds like poverty or unstable homes. Common entry points. Vulnerable youth, including girls, often get drawn in during tough times. Family connections. Relatives already involved can create social pressure, per 2018 DOJ reports. Community influence. In high-risk neighborhoods like parts of Long Island or Northern Virginia, peers at events or online offer a sense of belonging. Women often handle behind-the-scenes tasks that help groups operate. Communication. Passing messages to stay connected. Logistics. Managing resources or locations with less attention. Building ties. Welcoming newcomers through relationships. Group bonds. Forming close-knit subgroups for support. Public example. A 2017 Long Island court case from DOJ docs showed a young woman coordinating communications, highlighting how these roles sustain operations. This underscores the need for early intervention. MS-13 actions have devastated communities, claiming innocent lives and prompting strong responses. These public cases from FBI DOJ records illustrate the human toll and drive prevention efforts. Long Island, NY, 2016-2017. A series of teen murders in Brentwood shook the nation, FBI reports. Victims included local high school students targeted amid rivalries. Female members were implicated in communications supporting the group, per court docs, leading to 10 federal convictions and heightened awareness programs. Northern Virginia, 2019. A young woman's disappearance and death linked to MS-13 extortion, DOJ indictment. Community tips aided arrests, including supporters in logistics roles, resulting in life sentences and local school safety initiatives. Houston, TX, 2020. Family victims in a home invasion case, FBI task force. Evidence showed behind-the-scenes coordination, spurring federal raids that dismantled a clique and expanded victim support hotlines. These tragedies fueled Operation Community Shield, with over 5,000 MS-13 arrests since 2005, FBI stats, proving vigilance saves lives. Life in gangs brings serious hardships. Health and safety risks from the lifestyle. Legal consequences, with prosecutions rising 300% from 2012 to 2022 under anti-gang laws. Long-term barriers like tattoos affecting jobs and stability. Studies, for example, 2021 Urban Institute, show most former members face ongoing trauma, fueling cycles of hardship, especially after events that harm victims and communities. Breaking free. Positive exits are possible. Law enforcement support. Programs offering protection for those leaving, post-arrest rehabilitation. NGOs. Tattoo removal, job training via groups like Homies Unidos. Community initiatives. In El Salvador, efforts cut violence by 50% by 2019. U.S. victim-led vigils inspire more. Prevention tips. Early school programs building resilience. Family counseling in immigrant communities. Neighborhood watches informed by cases like those above. Success story. A former member in California now leads an anti-gang nonprofit, advocating for change after witnessing community loss. Beyond individual acts, MS-13 operates like a shadow government through systematic extortion, often called renta or taxing. Targeting the vulnerable. Public DOJ reports from 2024 highlight how cliques in cities like Houston and Charlotte target immigrant-owned small businesses. These owners are often forced to pay weekly fees just to operate. Economic stagnation. This isn't just a crime against one person. It's a crime against the community's economy. When small businesses are drained of their profits, they can't hire local youth, creating the very poverty vacuum that MS-13 uses for recruitment. The legal hammer. Under the RICO Act, racketeer, influenced, and corrupt organizations, federal prosecutors can now charge every member of a clique for the extortion committed by one. In 2025, a major case in Tennessee saw 18 members sentenced to over 700 combined years for these business-style crimes. As MS-13 has grown, so has its financial sophistication. The FBI now tracks the transnational money trail. Wire transfers. Evidence from 2025. Federal indictments shows that local cliques in the U.S. send a portion of their illicit earnings back to leadership in El Salvador. This dues system funds the gang's global operations. Shell businesses. Law enforcement has uncovered MS-13 associates using legitimate-looking front companies like landscaping or construction firms to launder money. The global impact. By treating the gang as a foreign terrorist organization, FTO. As designated in 2025, the U.S. government can freeze these international assets. This financial strangulation is often more effective than street-level arrests in dismantling the group's power. A less discussed but highly disruptive crime is the gang's involvement in document fraud. Exploitation of migrants. MS-13 has been documented, per 2021 to 2024 DHS reports, running black market document rings. They provide forged work permits or social security cards to undocumented migrants, then use the threat of exposure to trap those individuals in a cycle of debt. Identity hijacking. This fraud doesn't just affect migrants. It compromises the security of national databases. Law enforcement task forces, like Operation Community Shield, focus on these paper trails to find invisible members who aren't on the streets but are essential to the gang's survival. We've looked at the history, the hidden roles of women, and the complex web of global operations. But the most important part of the MS-13 story isn't the gang itself, it's the people standing up to it. Every time a business owner refuses to be silent, every time a student chooses a mentor over a clique, and every time a community invests in its youth, a link in that chain breaks. The data is clear. Gangs thrive in the shadows of neglect, but they wither in the light of opportunity. You've seen how law enforcement is dismantling the structure from the top down. But the real change happens from the ground up in our schools, our homes, and our neighborhoods. Knowledge is the ultimate deterrent. By watching this, you're not just learning history, you're joining a conversation about prevention. What's one change you think would make the biggest difference in your community? Let us know in the comments. Let's build a dialogue that's louder than the noise of the streets. If you found this deep dive valuable, hit that like button to help the algorithm share this educational resource with others. Subscribe for more breakdowns on the social forces shaping our world.